In other news this afternoon, the ARB Apex Bank has approved a strategic plan to raise its capital base to 25 million cedis from the present 9 million cedis. The bank will float shares of 5 million cedis annually for a 5-year period to enable members to subscribe. Managing Director for ARB Apex Bank, Alex Ewa, is hopeful the increase in capital will help improve service rendered to clients of the bank. Nanaya Ojima was at the maiden annual general meeting of the Association of Rural and Community Bank CEOs in Kumasi and filed this report.
For many years, the capital adequacy ratio for the ARB Apex Bank has stood at 9 million cedis, despite the increase of capital of rural banks to 1 million cedis. This has limited the bank's service delivery to the rural banks and their clients. By increasing the capital of the Apex Bank, clients of member banks whose loan needs could not be served locally will be taken up by the Apex Bank. Managing Director of the ARB Apex Bank, Alex Ewa, says in raising the amount, the strength of member banks will be considered in issuing the shares.
If we don't have the capital, we can't grant you significant monies. And recently, what we have also done is that we've introduced a product which is for non-members. And by non-members, we mean that if you're a rural bank and you have a customer, the customer is quite significant, the customer's account is good, but then you do not have the net worth to lend to such a customer. Certainly, we've introduced a product that will enable ARB Apex Bank to take on the customer and lend to them. But then, if our balance sheet, if our net worth is not strong enough, if we don't have the capital to do that, certainly Apex Bank will not be able to do that. And so it has become so imperative that we come to you for you to subscribe to additional shares.
To save distressed rural and community banks in the country, the strategic plan drawn by the ARB Apex Bank will establish a dedicated business unit for the purpose.
It's the effective management of distressed RCBs, for which we have set up a dedicated strategic business unit. The unit will be dedicated to troubleshooting our challenge RCBs and profiling them for effective and pragmatic remedial actions to bring them back to their feet.
The maiden AGM of the Association of Rural and Community Banks CEOs was attended by the chief executive officers of all rural banks in the country. The association seeks to promote best practices to ensure the rural and community banks take their rightful position in the economy. Hayatuddin Audu Ibrahim is founding president.
And so our greatest objective is using our numbers so that we actually become one of the leading force in ensuring that our individual institution, that's the rural and community bank, thrive, and as much as possible also we are able to contribute our quota to the local economy across all the catchment area where we individually operate.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
And the small business news on the marketplace at the top of the hour. Sports is coming up next.